Hi guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the film review. This week is starring guest star Matthew Keleher on the left.
Hello.
And Oliver O'Dell making a return on the right. Hi Ollie. This week we watched Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Guys, what did you think of the film?
Yeah, it was very entertaining. It was a little bit different. It was an independent film. It was sort of homegrown and sort of put together by one determined man. Who sort of realised his cinematic vision. It's since become a bit of a cult classic, and it was an unusual film. But I did enjoy it, and yeah.
Yeah, I second what what Matt said. I think the acting obviously is terrible and it's written terribly, and it's an independent film. You can tell this guy has got a couple of actors, a bit of money together, and just tried to write a story about love and friendship and affairs and murder, and he's just gone to town basically, and he's been really, really indulgent with everything. With the film so bad, it's actually quite funny. It's not supposed to be funny. It's quite tragic. You can't help but laugh at the tragedy in it, can you? It's just.
The film has a very strong philosophical message, and that is, that the virtue of honesty should, be foremost in one's life, and the most virtuous character in the film is John. He's just a perfect example of a man that loves life. He sort of surrounds himself with his friends and family. He's helping this 18-year-old kid who was down with luck. He's paying for his college education, and he's got a nice little apartment. And he loves his fiancée Lisa and his best friend Mark, who we'll get to in a little bit. As to why honesty is such an important virtue. But yeah.
So, were you surprised with how what the film was like? I'll direct that question towards Ollie.
One of the themes I forgot to mention was about betrayal. Yeah, he's very betrayed by his friends and his fiancée who have an affair, and coming into the film, I didn't know what it was going to be about. I didn't know what the story was about. I've only heard people say it's such a good film because it's so bad. I now know why, but. It's not. The story is really dull, and it's like a cliche of every film I've ever seen ever. Yeah.
Matt, were you surprised at the film?
Well, you did talk to me a little bit about what the film was like the other night. One thing that you didn't really talk about was the sort of very extensive use of tracking shots. There's about 3 minutes of tracking shots of the sort of trams going up and down the lines in San Francisco, and they got quite a lot of mileage out of a pan of the Golden Gate Bridge.
At night was that?
There was one shot. There was one shot at night of the city of San Francisco.
It carried on for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
Just to make sure that we knew that it was night time.
Yeah. There was sort of incidental music. It was probably like played on a early 90s model of Casio keyboard or something like that. And quite a lot of sort of hair metal ballads during the love scene and stuff like that, and they're quite gratuitous. Just about 4 minutes a piece, and there's probably about.
Yeah,
they probably make up about
nowhere,
they probably make about half of the running time of the film, and nothing, and all the scenes take place on 90% of the scenes take place like in the alley outside the apartment block, you know, in the apartment.
If you were to come in the room and catch a glimpse of the screen, you'd think we were watching like was it Men for Movies? Was it?
Yeah, something like that. Some sort of
late night erotica kind of films.
Yeah.
There's so many sort of like love making scenes, and it is like an adolescent, teenage sort of JD has gone to town just to make a film, where there needs to be love scenes and everyone needs to be love struck, and there needs to be tragedy, and you've just got to throw all those things in a bowl, toss it around like a salad, and just serve it to everyone, basically.
So, Matt, what was your favourite scene in the film?
The sort of scene that stood out. I mean, this is just one that I've sort of seen before. Really, I will sort of mention another one as well, but also the you know, the rooftop scene where like where he has the where Johnny has the heart to heart with Mark, you know, about just putting the world to right and stuff like that, and I
think there's one scene where, you know, what's his name, the main character?
Johnny.
He just comes into him and goes, "Hey, Mark," like that. And I think that just sums up the film. Everyone just says, "Hey, Mark," whenever they see each other.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, Johnny.
Yeah. Just the sort of going back to that. Yeah. The sort of scene where they're all sort of like out in the alley and playing baseball. I mean, just a few of those types of scenes really that just characters seem to appear on screen from nowhere. You know, it just seems to sort of pan onto them being in shot and stuff like that, and just like loads of little sort of continuity errors, like the position of the of Lisa's friend's hand. You know, it's like that in one scene, and this just little things like that.
Yeah, it's really badly directed.
Loads of those about
and
it is badly directed,
and it's really badly written, and you can't. It's honestly, it's just laughable. Some of the scenes aren't supposed to be funny, but they are. Because it's one of those.
The birthday party scene was fantastic as well.
What did you like about it?
Just the fact that you know, it was just it sort of painted a rosy picture before the fall. You know, like all his friends are rallying around him. You know, they'd all sort of meticulously planned this elaborate birthday party. You know, they got him his favourite cake and everything.
It's just such a cliche, isn't it, of every sort of everything that's supposed to be right about a surprise birthday party.
It is daytime soap opera stuff, like you mentioned, isn't it?
Yeah.
I even down to the music.
I don't think the actors could get any worse, lower down in the food chain than that. I mean, that's even below Hollyoaks and Doctors, Channel 1.
You know a bit more about the sort of background of the film than we do, I suppose. But did it have a theatrical release?
I believe it did, and I believe it made just over £1,000.
What was the budget?
I think, from memory, it was $5 million.
Well, I mean, you know, I really have to sort of commend the guy for like his ambition. I feel like sort of when it was crowdfunding or something like that. 10 years ago it would have been for that sort of thing, really. But somehow he must have raised the money. But you know, he really felt this film had to be made. You know, he had sort of.
It was based on a novel that he wrote that's 800 pages long.
Did the novel get finished?
No.
Is the novel available?
No.
It's just a perfectionist, isn't he? You know, he just you can see that he sort of invests. He sort of pours his heart and soul into his craft. You know, it's very evident from watching the film that you know, he refuses to compromise on his art.
Speaking, how'd you ever meet Lisa? You never told us.
Well, that's a very interesting story. When I moved to San Francisco with 2 suitcases, and I didn't know anyone, and I hit YMCA with a $2,000 check which I couldn't cash.
Why not?
Well, because it was an out-of-state bank. Anyway, I was working as a busboy in a hotel, and she was sitting, drinking her coffee, and she was so beautiful. And I say hi to her. That's how we met.
So, I mean, what's the interesting part?
Well, the interesting part is that on our first date, she paid for dinner.
What? No tips from your job?
Whatever. Do you guys want to eat something?
Ollie, let me throw this question at you. Favourite character?
No. I don't know. Johnny? They're all the same, really. I think there was the uptight mother-in-law who was like I hate to say it's, cliche just of every mother-in-law ever.
The sort of meddling battle axe.
Yeah, who gets involved with her daughter's business, even though she.
What I will say though is it's not a particularly high honour, but she was probably the best actor in the film, wasn't she? She was.
No, do you know what I think the best actor was? What they went in that cafe. They went in the woman behind the cafe because she was actually
very natural.
The actor who actually convinced.
I don't think she was natural. I don't think she was natural. I think they just went in the coffee shop and ordered the coffee. But yeah, I mean, my favourite character was Johnny, because he was the only one that was sort of pure and virtuous, and he was the only character that I could see that had the qualities that I have in myself. It's only one I can really relate to.
So, bonus question.
Oh.
I'm going to shoot this one to Ollie Yardell first. Do you think that Tommy Wiseau, do you think that this is a joke, or do you think that this is genuine?
Oh no, I think it's a genuine attempt at a film. It's just so bad at making films, acting in them, picking the music, picking the, directing them, everything. That it's laughable. Yeah.
Matt?
I don't think it's a joke. I mean, I think it's obvious that it has been carefully crafted. I mean, he's put a lot of effort into it. He invested a lot of his time and effort into the film. You can see from the opening credits that he was director, producer. He had a part in it. He was obviously involved in it at every level. He was obviously working closely with the crew to make sure that the film was made exactly the way he envisaged, and I think he was pretty happy with it, wasn't he? He was happy with the way it turned out, with the film, So to answer your question, yeah, I think he's completely honest in what he was doing.
I think this guy's got like the mindset of like a 13-year-old. Who just wants to be in a love scene with a beautiful woman, because she was a beautiful woman, this Lisa, and it's like, well, how can I put myself in bed with another woman and it not be rape? I know, I'll direct a film where she plays my fiance, I'm the husband, I've got a friend who's really trusting, and the rest, obviously, the old cliche, isn't it?
Would you watch it again?
I'd watch bits of it again just for a laugh, yeah.
Would you go to the cinema and watch it?
No.
Matt?
Yeah, I'd watch it again.
You'd watch it again?
Yeah.
Before we hurtle towards the scores, I'd just like to ask both of you if you'd like to add anything to the review. Is there anything you feel that we've missed out, or we should speak about and haven't?
Well, the cinematography was beautiful in this film. You know, there's some great shots, and obviously he sort of discovered some innovative ways of storytelling. You know, like sort of focusing on, sort of distracting the viewer from the story by focusing on things that completely irrelevant to the story and the theme of the film.
I think you're speaking way too highly of it, to be honest.
Oh, right.
I hope you're joking.
Oh.
And there's no nuance, there's no subtlety about it, about the way it's written or directed. It's just, it'll bore you stiff. And it's not supposed to be taken seriously, because they've taken it seriously, but what they've got is a joke. I think that's all I've got to say. Sorry.
Matt, anything else you'd like to add?
I think we covered everything. I mean, we don't really want to give too much away. I mean, and anyone that is interested from the review, you know, hopefully we've sold it to them and they want to see this cult film themselves.
Well, thanks guys
Thank
for
you.
that honest appraisal. Now it's time for the scores.
Yeah.
Oliver O'Dell, The Room, out of whatever, what would you give it?
I'll give it quite a low score. I'm gonna have to, you know. What it intends to do is nothing what it actually does, you know. It intends to make us pull on the heartstrings and whatnot, but it just makes us laugh. So I'm gonna give it about 2 Tango oranges out of 10.
Can you just lift that up again?
2.
Unfortunately, we've only got one, but you know, get the idea.
Yeah. Matthew Keleher.
Yeah. Well, it does have its flaws, but I did quite enjoy the film, so that's why I'm going to give it a 6. Hey marks out of 10.
So that'd be 3 out of 5, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
And-
a square meal, not a bad film.
And
Entertaining, maybe for the wrong reasons, but you know, it's worth watching.
and Ollie yours would be 1 out of 5, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good maths.
Right, well, I'd just like to add that The Room is available on Pirate Bay or on other torrent sites. If you see it in HMV or in FOP or in any kind of DVD shop, maybe cash converters, second hand, I'd advise you pick it up, and I'm sure the guys here would advise that you give it a watch too.
Well, maybe not Ollie. It's
apart-
either to give it
No, if you're down and you know in a depressive
50p,
state,
you know, if it's
it's
50p
worth a
and
laugh.
CEX, then yeah, it's probably worth a punt, isn't it?
I've never known a film to be so wrong.
It's original.
It is because of its
Yeah,
wrongity.
Thanks,
Oh, yeah.
guys.
it is now.
Hopefully see you next time on the next episode of the Film Review Show. Bye, guys.
See you later.
Surely it'll come.